Aruna Kakoti says you guys are here to change the scene and fill the voids. Let's go. Am I right, Lenny? That's what we're about.
Bro,
That's what we're about.
100%. Okay. Listen, 3 years ago you talked about a toxic environment. Like, we're not talking about toxic, right? Like, that's in the past.
Right.
Right? Just that, like I talked about, like making mistakes, learning from it, doing it better. Well, you know what? We're gonna do it better, right? You show up, you just walk with us because we're walking with you.
Axel is on the wraparound here. Gets the first pick on Sway. Mindfuck, what are you doing? Special player is from Bangladesh. He is currently playing for the lineup of Exkili Esports. Please give it up for Sami.
Hello guys. Thank you for having me. I've been in the South Asian scene for quite a bit, I think, for a year, for the past year.
But yeah, tell us how the Exkili experience has been and what's the gaming scene like in Dhaka? That's what I was really interested to hear about.
Honestly, I'll start with Dhaka first. Like, gaming scene in Bangladesh wasn't that big. When I was playing Counter-Strike, like CS:GO, before I played Valorant, the gaming scene was very small. You know, like every Counter-Strike player knew every other Counter-Strike player. It was that small. People I never imagined that would play Valorant played Valorant, and people came from so many different communities. Like, mainly Valorant players have Counter-Strike players,
right?
But in Bangladesh, the whole community has like Fortnite players, Dota players, League of Legends players,
Overwatch probably.
Overwatch, yeah, PUBG, like a whole mix of people.
How's your experience been with Exkili Esports?
So like at first, the Exkili experience was pretty nice. Like it was nice to play back at home, and it was getting better because all of a sudden, our owner of Exkili, Arif, announced that we're gonna have a boot camp. So which was surprising.
What would you say is your biggest dream for Exkili? And you and the other guys, what would you say is the what is the one thing that you probably want to achieve as a team?
I would say that being the #1 in South Asia and dethrone global esports and become the king of the hill.
That's the goal right there. Straight up.
Okay.
Favorite player in South Asia right now?
Me.
Sami, let's go. That was the best response I've got to that question so far.
This is Sami, SS Sami from Exkili Esports, and we will be playing the League Ego Championship 2021, and I hope you guys will watch that starting from December 1st.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. My name is Grizzly, and this right here is Ready Whipped. What's up,
Tyler? What's going on?
How are you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Hey, it's I say this when I stream on League Ego's channel, but it's always morning time for me whenever it's nighttime for all you guys. And I have yet to have my coffee. I got some water though, but I'm ready. I'm energized, and it's mainly because I get to talk with you. And I get to hang out with everyone watching. But we also get to see two pretty good teams duke it out this evening.
Absolutely, man. And there's a reason we're excited today, because tonight, folks, is the semi-finals of the League Ego Challengers series. It's a big deal. There's a big prize pool here that the teams are fighting for. Today's match, folks, is going to be Team True Rippers versus the God Particles, a matchup that I'm personally very, very excited for. We're going to look at a few stats, Tyler, before we jump into it. And folks, we're a bit late, behind schedule, but we're going to be jumping in real quick. But I want to talk about some map statistics for the both of us, especially on the side of God Particles. Some interesting things here, Tyler. They have a win percentage on Icebox of 67%. That is impressive. And also on Haven, 65%, which is one of the maps that we have today. And the third best map for them is Breeze, which is another map that we have today. So I personally think that this map pool today is looking a little bit in favor of God Particles. Now, I don't want to jinx it, or I don't want to call it, but I think after seeing God Particles' performance yesterday against FS Esports, a strong performance they did put in, I would say that Team God Particles are looking really, really in a good position tonight.
Yeah, FS Esports, they've played in some of our tournaments before, so we've seen how good they are. So for God Particles to get to where they're at today, I mean, just looking at this map split of Haven and Breeze, again, like you said, two of the maps we're going to be playing on today, 65% and 50%. They're winning most of their games, and we looked at the last time that we casted together. We looked at the team stats for attacking and defending, and looked for discrepancies. And look, 58% attacking, 50% defending. They're not weak on one side or the other. They're pretty strong no matter which side of the game they're playing. And so for them to be having that win percentage on Haven and Breeze, it's I'm going to be looking to them to see if they hold up what they've put out so far.
Yeah, and tonight's map pool, folks, in case you guys didn't catch it, is going to be Haven, Breeze, and then if we're all tied up at the end of two maps, we're going to be heading over to Split for our tiebreaker tonight. So I am super excited for that. There's a couple of players here, Tyler, in this lobby right now that I'm really excited to watch out for. Number one, hands down, has to be Paradox, the man of the moment. Tyler, in the TEC Gauntlet, the tournament that's happening side by side, this man is number 2 in the MVP rankings, ahead of SK Rossi. I'm just saying, that's how good he has been. Lately he has been in immaculate form, and the only player that's above him is Velocity Gaming's Deathmaker, who's an iconic Jet main. So I'm very excited for him. Another player that really excites me is Shivy from Team God Particles. I mean, we've talked about Scar God. That guy's a legend. We know it. But Shivy yesterday put on such a strong performance in that second map. I think he was at Haven. He was on the Soba. Time and time again, Tyler, Seth and me were so shocked at the way he was able to turn rounds in their favor, that he was able to clutch situations that we didn't really expect him to win. And I think it's that kind of character and it's that kind of mental strength that is going to be needed for both teams today.
Right.
For them to come out with a good result.
when we get down to the semifinals with 4 teams left, I mean, it's you need team play for sure. But now what we're starting to see is like, man, there are some players in this tournament that are creating a legend for themselves. I mean, you said it already, Scar God. I mean, everyone knows who that guy is. But someone like Shivy or Paradox, or we've seen One Tap God do insane things in our tournaments before.
We have.
And so to come in to the semifinals, I'm so excited for the clips we're gonna get from some of these guys as they do some crazy stuff that just honestly I wouldn't be able to do. And so I think we were talking beforehand. Paradox dropped a 35 bomb in one of our matches the other day.
Oh my god!
And so
it was breathtaking.
We're gonna be looking.
Oh my god!
We're gonna be looking for them to really kind of give us something to watch here. And so for you people at home watching this, it's time to be excited. I think we're getting in.
Absolutely, we are, and we're going to be heading to
Agent Select. Let's head to it
in just a bit. Excited for this. I'm going to make a few predictions right here before we even see it. Paradox is going to be an instant lock on to Jet. I think so. I think so. I don't know what's happening
Maybe
there.
Not.
Maybe not. What?
This is
nah. They're trolling us right now.
Interesting.
Tyler. They're trolling us right now.
They might. No, they're not.
Oh my
He
goodness.
locked in. He locked in. I don't know.
I am surprised by
They
this.
must know something we don't about
They must.
God particles.
They must. I am surprised by this move. I don't know what. Maybe Master's just feeling it today. I'm not quite sure, or maybe it was the match that they just came out from. But a quick look at the picks. Scargod's on the sky once again. He was absolutely unstoppable on the sky yesterday. Shivy on the Sova again. Double initiator meta coming back in. Logista's going to be on the Cypher. Ember's going to be on the Astra, and Knight Rider once again on the Jet. He's another exciting player for us to watch out. On the side of Team True Rippers, this is an upset Paradox on the Astra. What is going on? And
That is such an interesting play. That is not what I expected to see from Paradox, who has honestly been killing it. And so maybe they are going with a different game plan. Maybe they've watched God Particles and done their research. But man, what's interesting, I mean, this is exactly what you'd see from God Particles. If you look at their most used agent composition for Haven, it's this. And so they're playing their game. But True Rippers, I mean, maybe they're just trying to throw us for a loop or confuse God Particles, but we'll see.
I agree. So Master's going to be on the Jet. I mean, I'm for it. Let's check it out. Crosshair is going to be on the Sage. Relic is going to be on the Raze, and one tap going to be on the Soba. So a lot of new changes here.
Just one tap, God.
Ooh. A lot of control already over this A site, and God Particles all the way in.
Rest.
Crosshair doing well.
Okay, Knight Rider gets taken out by the Sage.
Enemy remaining.
Crosshair
down A.
taking 2 out.
It's down
Can
to
she take out the Cypher too?
It's down just to
Cypher's
Logista
chasing her
here.
down.
Yeah.
Okay. There it is. And honestly, that seems a little quick.
That was
seemed
very
like it was
quick.
just formulaic right there.
That was very quick, and I want to say this is something that I've seen God Particles do. They love to hurry the opposition in the first few rounds of the game, and I felt even against FS Esports, Tyler, the first map yesterday, the halftime score was 11-1. 11-1 at halftime in favor of God Particles, because they just came out of the blocks, running. They hit the ground running, and FS pulled off an incredible comeback to take that map to overtime. So God Particles is known for this kind of an approach. It hasn't paid off in that particular round, but
There's a lot of rounds left to go, so
right.
we'll see once they get into their rhythm what ends up happening.
Relic here very
Oh, wow.
aggressively coming out, and Crosshair gets a
Spike down,
couple again.
attacker
Ember
spawn.
does get the trade eventually.
All right, we're seeing Paradox is coming up on the Ember and and Logistic here. See if he takes him out. Can't handle the 2v1,
One enemy remaining.
but one tap God
Spike
coming
down,
in
attacker
behind
spawn.
with the assist. Cypher's right around the corner. He feels like he knows he's there. He's gonna send out his utility to check.
13 HP. 13 HP. It's a 1
Is he
versus
gonna
2.
see him?
It's a tough situation. The odds are against him.
Like Master's coming in, and Cypher low on HP, like you said. And he's just waiting. He's playing it nice and safe. Not able to do it. Got a couple shots off, but just wasn't able to click the head.
Nearly taking them out, but an expensive second round for Team True Rippers. They've lost 3 of those guns that they invested in, but nonetheless, they will be happy that they took the round back. Now, coming back to the lineups once again, it's not just that Paradox is not on the Jet Tyler tonight, but also One Tap is not on the Raze, and he's not on a Duelist, which is also unlike him. One Tap is actually going to be on the Soba tonight, and Relic is going to be on the Raze. Now, that's a first for me.
Right, but the thing is, I mean, so far, it's working.
It does look like it's working. You're right.
Full buys coming in from God Particles and already taking out one person from True Rippers. And we just saw a big exchange over on A side, or excuse me, C side long. As God Particles comes in, and it looks like they're going to be trying to lock down C as Shivy brings the... Here he goes. Is he going to play
One
it?
enemy
We'll
remaining.
see.
Ooh, is down
One
to
remaining.
just Crosshair. He does have the revive on him.
Spike
Now
planted.
does he use it? 1 versus 4. Nope.
He's not even going to have the chance.
He's not even gonna have a chance. God Particles shutting it down and making it look easier that the first buy and the investment pays off, Tyler.
Yep. It really came down to the fact that God Particles had a full buy and True Rippers didn't. Unfortunately, what this means now, and it looks like True Rippers is saving. And they're not going to come in with full buys at this point either, which is
That's
an
right.
interesting call.
It is, and it's also interesting that Master's gone in for a phantom purchase. Now I don't know if he's gonna sell it just before the round starts, but nope. It looks like he's gonna go in for that phantom purchase.
He's going to stick with it. Yep. It's full buy from him, but not from everyone else. A shorty, that Relic's carrying a shorty right now, so we'll see if he's actually able to do
my
something with that.
This man is living on the edge. Ooh, one tap.
Spike down A.
Okay.
It's
Here
a
we go.
different. We're
Some
definitely
stuff happening
seeing
mid.
some interesting play styles tonight from Team True Rippers. Both these teams, in fact, True Rippers being so hyper aggressive on defense in Haven.
One tap God using this Sheriff to his advantage. And Astra comes in. Now we're going to see something happen here over near A as Gargod plants.
remaining.
Knight Rider takes out Shivy. And it's all up to one tap God. 56 health.
So only got a sheriff on him.
Is he going to see someone? Okay. Shoots a shock dart trying to push them out of position. They're just going to stay there and avoid it though. Let's see if he can get some eyes on. Fakes the defuse. Isn't able to handle it when they both pop out.
2-2 on the
And
scoreboard.
Just like that, 2-2.
I think God Particles have responded well, and I think True Rippers, going back to my earlier point about how I think they know that God Particles was going to do this. They want to upset your rhythm. They want to come and rush you. They want to do unpredictable plays, and I think that's what they've come out here to start things off. And True Rippers have responded well, pushing out of garage, pushing out of A shot. They're showing that they know how to play this way as well. They can YOLO W key as well.
Well, just like we saw in the match yesterday between who was playing in our
God Particles and FS Esports. That's right.
Well, there was being down 2-0 is nothing. I mean,
Right.
you can be down 12-0 and still
Right.
come back and win. And so I don't think they were worried for a second coming into this round.
Agreed. And Master here getting a good headshot with that Sheriff. If he can get his hands on this gun, that's going to be a huge boost to the economy.
Yep. Okay, we got Knight Rider and friends coming into A. And Knight Rider gets taken out by a Marshall. And the Marshall quickly taken out.
I know
from Relic.
exactly where you are.
But what a shot on that. And one tap God still struggling with the economy as we go into this round. And the spike has been planted on A. And right now we have Shivy on the Sova and Logista on the Cypher just holding it down. 2v2. True Rippers has yet to have a successful defuse round.
That's true. That's true. They've yet to pull up a successful retake. Maybe this is the round though. They are coming in with the guns. And Shivi is positioning himself in heaven. Now if they don't
they're
clear
not
that
gonna
side.
look, though.
Last
Oh,
player
wow.
standing.
Pros don't fake. Oh,
paradox.
it doesn't
No.
matter.
I guess it was worth trying, but I don't know. I think he was just outnumbered in the end. Shivi from heaven with that shock dart, and of course, he had another player to help him. 3-2 on the scoreboard. God Particles taking a slender lead
1 second,
over
please.
Team True Rippers.
You know what's interesting, True Rippers doesn't have an incredibly high win percentage on Haven. It's only 46%.
That is true.
But it's their defense, it's worth talking about. Defensively, they win 55% of their games.
Interesting.
And so, looking at their position now, I mean, we're
Blinded.
nowhere near close even to the middle of this matchup. But it seems as if they're slightly struggling to retake and to handle the pressure like you've talked about from God Particles. So this is going to be interesting as we go into a few more rounds here.
Relic.
Relic
No!
taking out two
Oh
right
my
there.
Gosh. I mean, using his satchels brilliantly to avoid the Hunter's Fury and then just casually popping a couple of heads in A main.
This man
Your duty is not over. One enemy remaining. Spike planted.
Oof. Crosshair, crosshair. Did he have a shotgun on him in the end? Team True Rippers pulling off. There you go. We were just talking about this, Tyler. True Rippers are yet to pull off a defuse. All right.
Yes.
Tyler, can you hear me?
Yes.
I can.
All right. I'm so sorry. I think we had a technical
Did we have
issue.
some technical
I
difficulties?
think so, because I couldn't hear you for a bit. But hey, we're back in 3-3. You were just talking about it, Tyler, that there hasn't been a single successful retake from TR. And I think they heard you, because they just pulled off a good retake on A side. And Master, what is this aggression outside of B? God Particles responding well.
I might still have the golden tongue like
I think
did
you
the
do.
other time.
I think you do.
And we'll see. I mean, what I was just saying, probably when you couldn't hear me, is that it doesn't feel like one team is necessarily going to be able to really pull away. I'm feeling like this is going to be a close match.
Yeah, no,
all
for sure.
the way to round 13 or 14
sure.
or
Spike
15.
planted.
Yeah, I agree. 3-3 now, just indicative of what you just said. The scoreline's already close. And I don't think we're going to see a match like yesterday where a team is going to just sort of run away with it. Both these teams showing a lot of aggression, and I like to see that, as Relic's position is going to be given away. And now this is a nice little CT plant. Relic has the AWP on
It
him.
is.
Now this diffuse.
One enemy remaining.
I don't.
And it
God
doesn't
Particles.
seem
No. God Particles is allowing it. What?
They're just going to let it happen and see if he can take out. And he still gets killed. I'm not going to lie. I don't understand what God Particles was doing right there.
I don't know.
Either
I don't
in
know.
and try and save it, or just back up and keep your guns. That just seemed careless.
It did. Honestly, it did seem a bit careless from God Particles. 4-3 now in favor of Team True Rippers, and I think this is the first time in the game that God Particles might just start to feel a little bit of heat here. A quick look at the economies do show that they are against the ropes, so if they lose this round, they might be forced into another eco. We're just gonna have to wait and see.
Blinded.
Knight Rider again taking the charge, trying to get control of a shot. He is going to be up against Master, who's got an AWP in just a second. It's going to be the Jet versus Jet.
Let's watch this. Let's see who's the better Jet. Now,
Relic.
again, this is where it comes down to Paradox not being on the Jet, and Knight Rider gets taken out.
I know exactly where.
This is one of those times where it would have been nice to see the Paradox on the Jet and really kind of determine who the better Jet is, but we don't get to see it this
Spike
round or
planted.
this map. Maybe in a later one. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe it was True Rippers trying to experiment with a new lineup. Perhaps they've been practicing. It could be that. Oh, this
It's
recon.
possible.
This could be the end for Master. Ooh, they let him live.
A seems so crowded right now as Scarred God gets taken out, can't finish the kill. Shivy with the Bulldog. Is he able
Master.
to take out Jet with the op? We'll see.
Master
They're kind of
drops
dancing
down.
around the middle.
This is a tough situation
He
for
needs
him.
to find him. Isn't able to take him out as True Ripper's Master is able to get that flick on him. Oh,
Logista
And
will
it's a
be
personal
there.
win.
Yeah, Logista will be there to control the damage, but Master, what was that no scope? Did he he just 180 no scoped a player right next to the
what a
spike.
flick.
Oh my gosh. That was incredible. 4-4, and I am getting the sense, Tyler, that this is going to be a close game. 4-4
Yeah,
on the
everyone-
scoreboard.
Everyone grab some popcorn, get comfortable. We're going to be here a while.
I think so. This one might just go down to the wire all the way down to the third map. And take a look at this. One tap God going for the AWP purchase. His Knight Rider will win that fight once again against Master, this time outside of A.
Yeah, the God Particles really staying back, looking like they're wanting to do an A push. But we'll see what they end up doing. They could push someplace else, but it seems like they're just trying to get some info right now.
Relic
And
is
they're
gonna
just
be
kind of
sneaky.
getting picked off.
Yeah, yeah.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know. There he is. The Paradox taking out Jet
Spike
and the
down
Scar
A.
God.
Well divided.
Paradox coming in with the ultimate from Astra, just dividing at A to try and just keep God Particles off of that plant.
Last player
And he
standing.
doesn't look behind him. Paradox doesn't. And it's all up to one tap God.
With the op. Drops
One.
down.
Oh, but isn't able to keep it. And that gives... That's a free op.
It is
for
a
God
free op.
Particles right there.
And when you're dropping down from heaven like that, I mean, if you got more than one player in front of you, unless you're a Jet or a Reyna, you're pretty
It
much
was
dead.
risky.
Yeah, I mean, even if you get the first pick, which he did,
Going to Astro,
there is
do them
no
Astro
ability in his
Guardians
kit that
reverse.
allows him to get away from that position. And maybe some decision-making discussions that need to happen within the team. But for now, it does look like Team Troop Rippers are going to be coming in with an eco buy. And I think so far, Tyler, what we've seen, it's been such a cat and mouse game. I mean, we haven't had a second to breathe, honestly, because both these teams have just come out, and I think God Particles, like I spoke about like yesterday, they just want to bully the teams in the beginning, right? Really quickly, they want to jump in and they want to show the aggression, try to intimidate them, do pushes that they don't expect. And true Rippers, I think, are fully aware, and they're not allowing it. And they're actually countering it with aggression of their own. And take a look at this. I think it's going to be a B push now. I think it's a B push now.
And we'll see. But yeah, I think it's like you were saying, God Particles has some veteran players on them, and they know how to push the agenda and how to really get their game plan going.
Yep.
And at this point in the tournament, like we were talking about before, these players are incredible. I mean, they will be doing what they want to do. And here it is, an A plant. Full teams right now, 5v5. No one has been taken out, but you can just feel the tension. There goes one.
Relic gets that pick all the way near spawn. Knight Rider will punish Paradox. Gets a second.
Jet ultimates, and Master gets taken out. And all of a sudden, it's a 2v4 in God Particles' favor.
It is. Relic is on
See,
2
one
HP,
tap
5
God
HP.
getting half blinded with the Sheriff. One taken out. Isn't able to handle Knight Rider. And there it is. God Particles coming in with the round 6 victory.
Last player standing.
A 5v5 retake. I mean, but you have to give credit to Team True Rippers there. On an eco, I thought they did pretty well, taking down 3
They did.
players of God Particles, and that's gonna hurt their economies a little bit. And God Particles are still good. They have a somewhat of a forced buy, Tyler. I can see a Spectre and a Bulldog on there.
Yep.
But on the side of Team True Rippers, make no mistake, it's going to be a full buy. Master's going to pick up the op. And where's he positioning himself? Looks like he's going to be outside of A shot.
Yeah, and let's take a look at Logista real quick on the Cypher. 12-6-1. Economy's looking good. Full buy, full shields. It kind of seems like Logista is this unspoken hero right now for God Particles.
One tap God again. Coming out of C and in such an advanced position. This aggression from them.
Some spawn fighting happening right
Yeah,
now.
that's what's so surprising
But
to me. One tap is, I mean, True Rippers are pushing God Particles out of their comfort zones. And they're fighting fire with fire.
Oh, and a no-scope by
Master!
True Ripper's Master. But he's got 2 to handle right now. Oh, it isn't able to handle it. Oh, that's one where you just wish would have happened.
Oh my! And now at the almost at the end of halftime, Tyler, now you got a question if Team True Rippers need to revisit this strategy just a little bit. They want to fight fire with fire. It's clear. It's clear.
Yep.
God Particles want to bully them, and they don't want to be bullied. In fact, they want to bully them back. And 7-4 is not a bad scoreline, especially if they can pick up this round somehow. One tap God's gonna be just on a Sheriff, and Paradox is gonna be just on on a judge, and God Particles is setting up for a more traditional A-sided push. For the first time in this entire half so far, we're seeing a real push towards one side. And One Tap God's going to be alone here. He might be in a little bit of trouble. Yes, he does get taken down.
Yeah, he does get in trouble, and you wonder if True Rippers just kind of felt like they needed to change their game plan that last match, just because, man, they kind of started playing God Particles game of really pushing the agenda and getting everything going, but it still didn't work out for them.
Yeah, 3 versus 4 now. Master does get a useful pick onto Logista, the man that you've been talking about, 14 and 7. I think he's been there. He's been their best player so far, for sure. God Particles.
Absolutely.
Last player standing.
And it's all down to Relic. And they know exactly where he is. They were
pre-firing that angle
way for so long.
Switching sides.
And there it is. I mean, just as we were talking about how it was even, all of a sudden God Particles up 8-4.
8-4 at halftime, and Team True Rippers. Now the question is, how do they play on attack? Because I really doubt that we'll see that kind of a defense from God Particles the way Team True Rippers are playing. It'll be interesting to see if we see a more traditional approach, maybe default. Have you guys heard of default? It's been a while since we saw something like that, but no, it looks like our Team True Rippers are quite happy with a C-sided push. This might be interesting. C-side is being held by the man himself, Logista. He is on the Cypher, and Ember's there with him for company.
And I'm kind of obsessed with Logista right now, because he just seems to he has control of the map with all of Cypher's utilities, and he's just playing well. His gunfights are great, and I'm just kind of obsessed with him a little bit right now. If he pops out, he's gonna get Sova. Yes, he does.
The timing. He waited for the right moment.
Oh, and Master on Jet just kind of has to back it up. Felt the pressure right there.
And I think Master did brilliantly, because he knew the Cypher cam was monitoring his movement. And there you go. Shivi's going to catch
Still
him
gets
off.
shocked, notices it was there, and Shivi's able to take him out. See, that's what I'm saying. Logista just places down the traps and the cameras so perfectly.
Team Ace.
Wow. Is that our first team ace of this tournament?
I think it was the first team ace today, at least. But that was, they got hunted. That wasn't it was a hunting. That's what happened over there.
It's tough to watch.
And God Particles here for a second, just like you're saying, hey, we do this.
I'm going
okay,
above.
you can't steal our game plan. 9-4, Tyler. 9-4. Are you getting a feeling about this?
9-4. I talked about how I thought it would go a long time, and honestly, I still don't feel like True Rippers is fully out of it. I think that they just need to find what's gonna work, and I'm kind of thinking they're gonna find it. I just don't want to eat my words as they try and push A and just get picked off one by one as they go in. It's just not working for them.
One enemy remaining.
Oof. And Knight Rider. Did Knight Rider just take out 4?
3. He took out 3 and a flawless round.
gosh.
Oh my gosh. 10-4. Now this is a big round because True Rippers was hard saving in that last round. So this one's going to be a full buy from them. And
Full buy. Their economies are at 0 pretty much.
and they need to make this
And
work,
they
man.
need to win this
Yeah.
round. You're right. They need to win. And honestly, if we're being realistic, they need to win this round and the next round to get God Particles in a position where they're pressured a little bit, honestly.
I agree.
This is going to be big from True Rippers. Let's see as they push mid and
Ooh,
one gets
Knight
taken
Rider.
out. We'll see. Scar God sends out his dog, not able to find any information.
The tempo of this
Logista
game,
on the
man.
Cypher still looking at this door in mid. Paradox placing some Astra utility. It looks like they're trying for a B push. Right, oh, Logista on the Cypher is going to sneak around the back, and I don't know if they know he's there. Now they do. They're definitely knowing he's there. He throws down a blind. Spike planted in B, so they were able to get the plant off.
Oof.
He takes out Paradox. Paradox. And it's all up to it's all up to one tap God. And just not looking good. Able to take out 2, but Logista once again coming in and cleaning up to get the defuse. That was the round that True Rippers needed, and they weren't able to do it.
They did. I mean, I'm amazed at the tempo of this game, Tyler. I cannot keep up. Things are happening so fast. Did you see the peek outside of Garage from Knight Rider? It was the minute the round began, he just jumped out for that peek and dashes back in, and immediately establishing a man disadvantage for Team True Rippers. And I felt like Team True Rippers going B wasn't a bad call. I don't think it is. But I just, the positions they took, especially Crosshair on top of that wall, I felt like it was a little bit risky, and maybe in the scoreline's 11-4, maybe they might want to consider a safer approach, if I may. And
right, yeah, it seems like there's just they want to feel it, like they want to feel like it's working, and it just seems like they're trying to force it, and they're not being patient. And I think if they were able to just communicate with each other and just kind of calm down and reset, I think they do much better. But at this point, you almost feel like it's too late to call a timeout and do that. As once again,
One enemy remaining.
it's down to 1. It's down to 1 tap God on the Sova. 1v3, 1v2. It still gets taken out once again by Logista.
yeah, I'm getting the same feeling again. I think one tap has too much to do in the end. He's always he seems to be ending up in a 1 versus 3 or a 1 versus 4 situation, and he's able to take down 2, but I mean those odds are always against him. And just like that, Tyler, we're on match point. I mean, I'm gonna look at the scoreboard real quick here for God Particles. I mean, for me,
that's what I was just looking at. I mean, before you go into God Particles, no one on True Ripper is really taking the lead and doing
right,
and doing insane. But if you look at, go ahead and talk about God Particles real quick, because look at Knight Rider and Logista.
They're playing a different game.
They're reading an entire different book right now.
Right.
Let's see, as True Rippers just makes a full-on heavy A push.
And I think God Particles just the decision making, right? They see the push coming in towards this A side, they're okay with it. They're like, let them get the plant down, let them do it. We'll retake it together.
Do you think that this? I'm interested to hear what you say about this. Do you think that this is just a difference in experience? Do you think that God Particles, because of their CS:GO background and their experience, they have some veteran players? Do you think that's what it comes down to?
I think it's a couple of things, and this is interesting. True Rippers gets a revive now, a 3 versus 3. This could be big. This could be possible for Team True Rippers. Kargod, the Seekers going out, is down to just Paradox again.
Just Paradox, and he can do it. We've seen him do it before.
It's possible. It's looking in his favor.
He's gonna need to get in there.
He does
quick,
it,
and he does it. True Rippers lives to see another round.
They do. A Paradox looking like he's surprised by the outcome of that himself. But coming back to the question that you asked me, I mean, a couple of things, right? I think True Rippers just coming out of a loss against Team XO, I believe it was, in the gauntlet, like literally hours ago. So it's possible that they're tired. I mean, honestly, man, 3 games of Valorant back to back in a competitive environment, it's going to take a lot out of you. So I wonder if it's just some fatigue from Team True Rippers. And secondly, like I said, God Particles, they're known for this kind of an abrasive strategy where they just come out and bully you, they walk all over you. And I think they're just trying to overcompensate for that aggression. But if it's not their style, you know what I mean? It doesn't seem to be working for them.
Yeah, and you make a really good point, honestly. True Rippers did. Oh wow.
Look at that coordination.
Oh wow, God Particles just dominated right
there. They timed that peak together, and it was like as soon as the spike gets planted.
Oh wow.
How
me in my tracks right now.
What?
Defenders win.
Did they just? I think True Rippers just surrendered.
I couldn't even finish making my point, Tyler. But that's how quick that game ended, folks.
Wow.
That was something else. And again, True Rippers, I mean, I think they tried. But God Particles just coming out on top in every department. Logista, man, 22-8, Tyler.
I'm obsessed with Logista. I'm obsessed with him. Look how good he did. Average combat score of 301, 22-8. His utility use was incredible. But man, you know what that surrender tells me is what we were saying about the fatigue is right. I mean, their morale, especially after that last full-on peak where basically their entire team got taken out, they were just done. I mean, that was a full-on rage quit. And hopefully the time between this match and our next map, Breeze, True Rippers is able to gather together and say, hey, I think they just need to remind themselves we're in the top 4. We have a chance to win this tournament and this prize pool. So I think they just need to come together and honestly just kind of build that morale back up. And, maybe they need some coffee themselves or something like that. But I just think they need to have that morale just boosted going into Breeze as we get ready to transition into the second map. They need to regather themselves.
I think so, and these are the times that I do feel Tyler, sometimes having a coach, man, it just helps a lot.
Makes a huge difference.
Because 5 of these players are in the map and they just sort of got demolished, and I don't know if anyone has it in them to look at each other and say, guys, listen, this is not a reflection on our skill level. We just had a bad game. And sometimes just having a coach who's away from the action is just, a coach can just tell you, listen, guys, it happens, ups and downs. But
exactly.
You guys need to calm down. Just bring it down, just tone it down a bit. There's a lot of banter in the chat, and sometimes that could be, upsetting. But make no mistake, that one hurt True Rippers.
That did, and that last round was the twist of the dagger to really get them to feel the pain. And I'm really hoping that as we go into Breeze, they're able to pull it around. I'm wondering, Grizzly, if we'll see a more traditional agent select from True Rippers going into Breeze as we go in.
And folks, we're running a little bit behind time, so we're not going to be going into a break. Tyler, we're going to go straight into map number 2. And yeah,
Let's do it.
Number 1, first things first, Paradox, can you please lock that jet, dude?
Give the people what they
want.
want.
Give the people what they want, Paradox. Okay, we came here to watch a show, and it looks like we're almost ready to get going. And just as we do that, so any predictions, Tyler, on the agent select?
Well, looking at God Particles, their agent composition is pretty much the same. However, they sometimes pick a Viper. Oh, and look at this. Look at Paradox's selection right now on the KO.
That's
Not the Jet, and he's locked in already. We have 2 Vipers, one from Master, one from Ember. And like I was saying, this agent composition, once again, for God Particles, they are sticking to what they know they do well. And this is going to be interesting on the side of True Rippers as Paradox comes in with the KO, Master comes in with the Viper, and Crosshair, on the Jet. We'll see how this works out for him as we start up round number 1.
Yeah, and interestingly, I've not seen this before, Tyler. Hands down, there's 3 initiators in the hands of True Rippers. 3. And usually when people have 2 initiators, a lot of people feel that's one too many. But here they've got 3. They've got KO, they've got Sky, and they've got Breach. That's a lot of flashes right there between those 3. And this
do you
time,
think?
and we saw Master on the Jet, and here we have Crosshair on the Jet this time. Master's going to be on the Viper. By the way, Viper, absolutely fundamental pick in a map like Breeze. And on the side of team God Particles, it looks like an exact same lineup again. The exact same lineup from God Particles.
The exact same one. Just with a Viper on it. So we'll see how they use the Viper's utility and Viper's ultimate on this map as we get into it. Do you feel like there was some chatter there in the chat right before the match started? Do you feel like True Rippers is just like, screw it, we're just gonna play?
I don't know. Basically, YOLO it maybe. Yeah. It could be, man. It could be. There was also a comment that said that you guys are fooling around too much. Maybe a comment on that agent select. I definitely felt so. And now Scargod in a tough position gets one. Will get traded by Relic, and now is just down to one player. It's down to just Shivi, and True Rippers winning the gunfights in that first pistol round at least.
Stay down.
Enemy remaining.
Ooh, Shivi gets two. Shivi gets two, and now it's a 1v1 situation. It is just between Master and Shivi. Shivi hasn't managed to pick up a
30
new
seconds
pistol,
left.
so he's still on the classic, but 125 HP on him. Master also with 125 HP with a ghost. The spike is going to go
Spike
down on A
planted.
side. It's going to be a KG 1v1. This one's going to be a KG 1v1. Shivi's quite happy to go away, giving a lot of space. He's planted for himself, so he should be okay. Now, he looks at the ghost. He wants that ghost. He wants it. Master.
Cat and mouse game happening right now. Sorry for the silence there. I realized I just broke a wheel off of my chair. So
Oh my gosh. I hope you're okay.
if I lean back on stream and everyone sees me fall over, we have to make sure to clip it.
Ooh, and clutching it. Shivi
Shivi.
clutching it. It was a 1v3 situation there, Tyler, and Shivi had just a classic on him. And Team True Rippers will feel hard done by that for sure. They would have backed themselves to win that round from the 3-1 position. But nonetheless, God Particles off the mark. 1-0 on the scoreboard. And take a look at Knight Rider. He's picking up a Phantom. This man doesn't care. He's going to go for the Phantom.
He's
just going to
He's
go
going
for the
in
Phantom.
so early.
In round 2, you know he's going to dash straight onto site and try to pop some
Yes,
heads.
he is.
No.
You kind of get the feeling, just as much as True Rippers is seemingly like they're just gonna have fun with it. I think God Particles has picked up on it too, and they're just like, you know what, us too.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Logista here, holding a good position. Now, I don't know if Master heard him. I think Master heard him. But Logista sneaking onto B side. He's going to try and take control as Ember also in an interesting position. Now he puts up an interesting wall. Looks like the commitment's going to be back onto this A side. And Shivi gets a pick.
And Ember
one
gets caught out from behind with
the shorty. Oh my god.
the shorty. All right, now that they've been made, they are going A side. And Logista on the Cypher, our resident Cypher main, making his way over. He knows that Jet's there right behind him.
And Jet
Puts up
circled.
another cage.
Just circle all the way around.
And Jet doesn't
Last
even know.
player standing.
Logista able to take one out again. And they still have
30 seconds left.
Crosshair on the Jet. Looks like just going to
Spike
give it
planted.
to him.
2 HP and a dream. And Logista and Shivi are low as well, make no mistake. I'm just a couple of martial body shots here, and Crosshair might have this in the bag. So
That's true. But Crosshair doesn't know that, and I think he's just going to give it to him. He's not even going to try. Maybe try and get a cheeky pick here on Shivi at the very end. Shivi's looking down that hallway, though. Oh, all he needs is an angle. Shivi definitely saw him right there.
he doesn't want to fight it, and that's the right move because the clock is against Crosshair. The pressure's on Crosshair. So Shivi's going to avoid this gunfight as far as
And
possible.
Crosshair just needs to get out at this point. Yep.
The Phantom is saved. And a second round on the board. And look at Logista. He's all the way back at B. That's how confident they were in winning that round.
Yeah, they said, hey, we only need 4. Really 2 to take you down.
Yeah. 2-0 on the
Couple of full
scoreboard.
buys.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
Sorry, go ahead.
It makes total sense for them to full buy. At this point, I'm like, just go for it, guys. Just go for it.
Yep.
Because True Rippers, now they're going to throw the kitchen sink at them. For sure. True Rippers, they're feeling this. They're definitely feeling this. The pressure.
Revealing area.
Crosshair here. Is that an operator? No, it's a marshal. It's a marshal.
No, it's a Marshall. If that was an op this early, especially without True Ripper played, I would have been very surprised.
Scargod. Look at
Mainly because
Scargod.
I'm
Look at
not sure if
Scargod.
he'd be able to keep it.
Ooh. No.
Okay, Ember on the Viper up in heaven near on A. He's going to open this door as he lays down his toxin wall. There, oh, he just got caught so quick by Crosshair on the Marshall, and Crosshair is gonna try and take a good position here to be able to just pick off God Particles 1v1. What is Master doing with Viper over all the way over in B there?
I think he's trying to go for that late lurk, trying to catch someone off in mid.
Last player
Not much
standing.
luck there. It's down to just him.
able to take out Crosshair. Scar God trying to gather some information, and they take him. They take out Viper.
I mean, you have to appreciate, going back to that earlier question you asked me about, just the experience of God Particles coming on top.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just showing here, it's just showing that True Rippers tried their best to upset their rhythm in Haven, but they just remained calm. They responded, and make no mistake, they responded with aggression. But they've been clinical, man. They've been clinical. They made very few mistakes. Just in the previous round, Relic, I don't know what that move was, man. Jumping out into A main and going into that dog. I was a little bit surprised. Easy pickings for Shivy.
You know, I don't want to. Ah, man, it's so hard because True Rippers, they're not bad. They're a great team. We've seen them play so well in our previous tournaments and in other tournaments as well. They've played so well, and it just feels like. It just feels like they're throwing.
Spike down.
And I hate to say that because they are so good. And I would think, you know, coming off their loss to EXO in TEC Gauntlet, excuse me, I would think they'd want to come here today. And maybe it is fatigue and it's just like, hey, let's cut our losses. But I would think they would want to come into this semifinals for our Challenger Series and just kind of like come back and show what they can do and not throw, but I don't know.
I fully agree with you, man. As much as it hurts for me to say that, it doesn't look like Team True Rippers. It doesn't feel like they're in control of their game plan. I don't know if they even have a game plan at this point, honestly. They've decided to stack. They've decided to stack A site this time. Take a look at this. It's an eco round. So there you go. This is better. This is better from them. I like to see this. Now they've gone wrong with the prediction, but that's okay, right?
That's all right. Hey, listen. Now they know, and Relic is trying to get some info on A, not gonna get it, and so I think it's becoming very clear to them, obviously, because now the spike has been planted, that they're all on B, and now they have to do the job of getting there. But once again, God Particles just has it locked down.
Knight Rider,
wow.
a Colat headshot. Getting 2 kills, a flawless round, an eco round that was
awesome.
I mean, that was an eco round for Team True Rippers, so we can let them off the hook for that,
Right.
for sure.
That one can slide.
But now, a full buy and crosshair. Surely, you need to pick up that op, my friend. There you go. There you go.
Yep. All right, True Rippers. Let's see it. Bring it back.
He's gonna set
See,
himself
do
up
something
at he's gonna set himself up at mid. Now that's not a bad choice. That's not a bad choice. He might come face to face with Logista, and that'll be a big pick for them.
That would be huge if they're able to take out Logista. Now he gets his location revealed, but I don't think that was much of a surprise.
I don't know, man.
No one's peeking in.
Something happens to Shivy every match in the second map, particularly. Ooh, Master timing this brilliantly. Shivy, you're in trouble, and TR. There you go.
Oh wow!
Relic gets a couple of kills. Knight Rider gets the trade onto one tap.
That was big for Relic. Relic's about to get a third. Oh, he can't get the fourth, but still does crazy. And this is the True Rippers that we wanted to see.
This is so much better. This is so much better from them. Ember on the Viper. He'll get his hands on the spike, and might even have
make his way up to B.
Yeah, he might just get access to this B side, Tyler, and could be game on if he can get the spike down. And guess what? If he gets the spike down, he gets his ultimate as well.
That's true, and you know, it's not that God Particles needs any more help, but Viper's ultimate, especially here on Breeze, whether you do it on B or A, I mean, you have so much coverage, and so that's basically if Ember gets his ultimate, it's basically a guaranteed round for God Particles. But man, I want True Rippers to come and just win this round so bad. Ember taking down to 26 health, tries to go in for the plant just to fake it, And there we go. True Rippers finally on the board.
There you go.
With their first round win. And I think that this is, at least for a morale boost, very needed for them.
I agree. I was just making this interesting point about Shivi. He's on 9-2 today again, and this is what we saw from him yesterday as well.
Oh my gosh.
He had a slow start in the first map, and in the second map he really started to bring things out, turn up the
feeling
heat.
himself,
Yeah, 9-2 for him. Scargod, always, man, the most consistent player in this lineup, I think, is definitely Scargod. He's on 8-4. Logista once again looking strong, and one tap god with the Rolling Thunder as an option. True Rippers once again showing a lot of aggression. Look at Relic go.
You know what's interesting? We were looking forward to seeing what Paradox was going to do in this matchup, and Paradox coming in at the bottom of their team, 1-5 on the KO. Haven't seen much from KO as an initiator here in this matchup. So
That's true.
you know, listen, for everyone watching, League Ego, we're big True Ripper fans. I mean, they've played in most, if not all, I think, of our tournaments that we've held in India.
That's true.
So we are big fans of True Ripper. We want to see them successful. You know, it's just, there we go. Hey, there's another on the board. And just as we're talking about wanting to see them successful, I'm hoping they're hearing us. I know there's obviously we have a delay on, so we're trying to prevent cheating, but I'm hoping they're hearing us and picking up what we're putting down, because, man, not only do we want a good match, of course, but for True Rippers to come back and send us to a third map, that would make for an interesting matchup here in the semifinals of League Ego's 2021 Challenger Series tournament.
Agreed. The stakes are high. I mean, this is the semi-final, Tyler. So, I mean, these guys are playing for a spot in the finals, and the winner of tonight's match is guaranteed a spot in that grand finals. It's going to be on Saturday.
Crosshair knew exactly where that camera was. Crosshair with the camera takeout and with the quick shot with that op. And we'll see Relic's locations revealed. And there we got a Sova ultimate coming in, trying to take out Relic. Relic able to dodge them pretty easily. And that flash isn't going to do much. Let's take a look as Ember gets taken out. Once again, it looks like Crosshair with that operator is actually doing some work this round.
He needs to look at Nest. He needs to look at Nest because he'll get taken down from his right because Logista has spotted him.
Yep. He finally knows he's there, but a little late. And Knight Rider on the op as well. We're going to see Crosshair's come back pretty far. And that was a good cloud coverage.
And Shibi's got the spike. Knight Rider gets another pick here onto Relic.
It's really going to come down to Crosshair with his operator. Ooh, almost able to take out the enemy jet.
Spike planted.
All right, it really is all the way down, and boom, there you have it. That was a strong round from True Rippers. They actually were able to hold it down pretty well. But, you know, I think situationally, God Particles just had the advantage, you know, with their locations and how they're able to push.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, God Particles, you know, they lose a couple of rounds, but they don't lose their heads. You know what I'm saying, Tyler?
Nope.
They're able to regain
That's that
composure.
veteran mentality.
Exactly. And that's the experience just paying off, perhaps. Now, True Rippers are not new to this game. Now, they've been around for
Oh, no,
for the
by
longest.
far not.
And Paradox himself, in fact, even plays CS:GO to this date. So he knows what it's, you know, he knows what it's like to compete at the highest level.
Spike
Right.
down B.
Strong push by God Particles here on B. As they go for the plant already. Knight Rider taking out Crosshair once again. Did they just lose another op?
I think so.
We'll
think they
see.
did.
We'll see what happens here. One tap God coming in.
No,
Ooh.
that wasn't the
Knight Rider
move.
with a great shot.
Oh my
And that's
God.
3 for Knight Rider. I hope we were recording his screen. Oh my goodness.
That was amazing. That was amazing. And that jump from one tap looked a little bit casual once again. It's once again, Tyler. My apologies. But Knight Rider, clinical again. Looking good with that operator in his hands. And True Rippers will be forced into another eco buy.
What are your feelings right now looking at the scoreboard of Paradox's role in True Rippers games today? Not just this map, but overall. Especially this one, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely disappointed. Personally, as a fan, and honestly, that's how I see myself. I'm a fan. Ooh, Knight Rider popping the head of Relic. There you go, Paradox. There you go. That's better.
Come on.
That's better from him.
Let's see it suppressed.
Gets taken down
Gets
finally.
taken out. I
But yeah.
don't think they're going to be able to revive him.
Yeah,
but
no
yeah,
way.
keep going.
No chance, no chance. Yeah, I mean, I'm disappointed for sure. I'm disappointed about number one, him not being on the jet. Number two, his performances so far just don't seem to be his usual self, or at least the great form that he's been in lately. But I also do sympathize at the same time. You know, these guys have such a hectic schedule. You know, it's not easy playing these competitive games. And Knight Rider cleaning it up here with another pick onto Master. It is down to just the last player of True Rippers. It is Crosshair, and looks like Crosshair is not on his keyboard.
Yeah, he didn't buy, and he's still back at spawn. It seems AFK Logista's going to find him and just take him out. I don't know what happened there, if there was a technical difficulty or something like that. Hopefully we'll find out. The Crosshair's still not moving.
Oh man, I hope they call for a timeout. I don't know if they do.
Some talking happening in the chat.
There is.
Paradox finally buys.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, going back to what I was saying earlier about, you know,
Crosshair's moving. He's back. We're good.
Oh, thank God.
It seems like these two teams, you know, they really are just having fun. I think they know how this is going.
Yeah, and they also know each other. You know what I'm saying? They know each
Right,
other.
so, you know, the God Particles and Troopers, they're friends, and they understand the situation. You know, they were just talking about, you know, matches before this, and you know, I think at this point they're just having fun. You know what? Good for them.
Ooh, one tap God is going to pull out the Rolling Thunder. Now, can they make it count?
It really affects Crosshair.
One enemy remaining.
Able to get it through
Better.
the smoke.
Better.
Oh my gosh, Crosshair.
I don't know what Crosshair did at that break, but it's working. Picking
It's
up a
working.
4K.
In the half.
Crosshair needed to just step away from the keyboard for a round just to be able to come back and get a 4-bomb in that round.
Yeah, a much needed one. 8-3 on the scoreboard, and I'm happy. I'm happy that True Rippers are fighting back, but honestly, we're getting a lot more from where that came from.
Yeah, they do, and the thing is it's still not like they could still do it. You know, it's not out of reach, and I think that's why, you know, for everyone watching, I think that's why Grizzly and I are just like, man, come on, is because True Rippers is not out of reach. They're not out of this game, and they're not out of this tournament yet, and so really, I mean, it's doable, and we just want to be able to see them kind of pull through.
One enemy remaining.
Paradox on a good exchange with Logista gets taken out though, and the Logista gets taken out right after that. So this is going to be another great round from True Rippers, unless Knight Rider can kind of change the tide here with the Jet on operator.
The spike's down. He's got an up, but it's asking a lot
He's
from
got to
him.
go get it, and Master knows exactly where he's at and gets taken out. Like I said, they're not out of this. If they just make the decision, which
That's
it
all it
seems
takes,
like they
yeah.
may have,
Switching sides.
if they just make the decision to say, hey, let's get back into this, they can.
They absolutely can, and it is now the second half and the business end of the tournament, if you will. And 8-4, things are definitely looking in favor for Team God Particles. I have to say, now they're gonna be on defense, and this is where that triple initiative pick from True Rippers might just come in handy. But we're gonna have to wait and see, man, because it's hard work. Now, God Particles is not an easy team to push on attack. So Ember setting himself up for B site. I think they know it. They know it's going to be a hectic half. True Rippers are going to fight, and Scargod and Ember. Look at them. The utilities are out. They're ready even before the timer's begun.
And there's the smoke. There's the pool, the acid pool. Relic's coming in. Wow, Crosshair just dashes in, able to take out Viper.
Good couple of trades there. True Rippers coming out
Paradox
on
is
top.
planting right now.
Shock dart.
Those were some good trades. And,
Oh,
and the thing
Shivy!
is-
No, not like that.
Shivy, oh my
He gets a
gosh.
second as well. Oh my gosh. He saw 0 enemies there, but he got 2 kills. One with a shock dart, and one with that. Oh my god! And that retake. How smooth was that retake?
That was so strong. Wow. And that's the thing is you know, True Rippers can turn it around, but God Particles is not going away.
I'm getting a sense now, Tyler. I am getting a sense.
Oh, are you?
I am getting a
Are you?
sense. Yeah. It
What's
might
the
be too.
sense?
It might be too early to call it, but honestly, God
Okay.
Particles. They're starting to make that grand final spot their own.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of felt that as soon as True Rippers surrendered in the last map. I was like, okay, well, God Particles is most likely going to the finals, and I hope that True Rippers puts up a fight. But I get the same sense that you do, and they all know everyone's at A. I don't think there was any question about that. Logista taking out Breach.
Spike planted.
Here we go.
Cyphers.
They actually got the spike planted, and Relic, just not able to handle it.
Ember's dropping
we
heads. Ember's dropping bodies.
Player standing.
Scargod. Oh my gosh.
Scargod takes out Paradox. He just didn't know. And there we go. They're going for the defuse, and that's 10-4. And yeah, I mean, our feelings are being confirmed.
10-4. It was an equal. I mean, I'm okay with just getting the spike plant
It was
down.
an eco round. That's true.
Yeah, they wanted those 300 creds, but now this round right here, Tyler, is going to be the make or break round. If True Rippers
Well, it's
doesn't
just
show
like
up
the lab
here,
map.
yeah,
Yep.
if True Rippers don't show up in this round, I'm afraid it's going to be curtains for them. A quick look at the scoreboard, though.
Right
The
here.
man of this match has to be Knight Rider 17-7. He was unstoppable with the op on attack once he got it, and now he's continuing to look strong and action unfolding immediately on B side. The tempo of this game, Dana, the tempo
They are
of
just
this
pushing so hard, and no one on True Rippers has been taken out or hardly even damaged yet. They just were able to take B side so smoothly,
Spike planted.
even against opposition. Okay, Knight Rider's suppressed. 1 second left on the suppression.
I can't use that.
Now able to get out of it, but then suppressed again by KO's Molly. And we'll see. Logista's kind of making his way around with Shivy on the side here, and they're going to try and take out as Relic knows they're there. Crosshair knows they're there. And Logista's over here by himself.
Look at these
Partial
flashes.
blind.
Oh,
Not
he.
fully. They know he's in
they're
that
hunting.
corner. He's done. Yep. That was beautiful play on
Yeah.
True Ripper's part.
Yeah. There you go. We talked about it. They needed to show up here, and they did. They did just that. I love the aggression on B side. Scargod and Ember, they tried their best, but that push had just way too much aggression written all over it. A 5th round in
Yep.
the bag. 5-10 now. And can we see a resurgence from True Rippers here?
I hope so, and it looks like they're. It looks like they're gonna push B again, and just go for a full push. Now you have Logista and Shivy staying over at A just to make sure that they don't get caught off too much. But I think quickly they're gonna know that True Rippers is all over at B.
Once again.
As they dash in again. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Down B.
Okay, and it seems like God Particles was a little more ready for
Last
it.
player standing.
Scar God taking out Paradox. Master's the only one left on the Viper. Let's see if she can do it. Can't do it. It started out so strong,
It
but
did.
I think God Particles was a little more ready for it this round.
They did. There's a comment in the chat. Is this an unrated game? It feels like it, man. Honestly, the way these two teams have come out today, and I mean, credit to God Particles though. I mean, whatever said and done, they are showing their class, and that can be seen in the scoreline.
This is a nice spot. That goes
Well, I
there.
think it's just it's one of those things where it's like, hey, we have the chance to get to the finals, and as much as we're friends with this team, like we're still gonna come out, and we're gonna play our game, and that's what they're doing. They're gonna get there, and so Okay, good push from
Spike
True Rippers
planted.
on B. I don't think God Particles expected them to go B for the 3rd time in a row.
Yeah, I mean,
But here they
yeah, yeah. I don't know what it was. It was a very calculated decision. They left the site alone. They want to do the retake together. So far, it's okay. 3 versus 4. This is still possible. Knight Rider, he knows Paradox is lurking in mid and dashing out in time to save himself. Shivy gets a big.
Player standing.
Ooh, Knight Rider gets taken down. It's down to just
Here we
Shivy.
go. Down
gonna
to just
be a save.
Shivy. I think he's gonna let him have it.
Yeah.
And
he's gonna save
great
it.
round by True Rippers there. I mean, that was calculated. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. I think they went to B side for the 3rd time in a row on purpose, and Shivy still gets taken out. Shivy still gets
Yeah.
taken out. That's big.
Yeah, no, I was
Look at-
just gonna say that there's no way they
Wow.
would let him save that.
No.
The way True Rippers are setting up today, they're just throwing everything they have, and I don't think that finger has lifted from the W key, Tyler. If you know what I mean.
No, yeah, yeah. I mean, look at they're gathering over at B again, and you know, God Particles is they kind of see it's happening. I mean, they still have Sova and they still have Jet kind of looking over at A, but yeah, most of them are coming over to B, and I think they've just decided we're gonna end this game at B.
Logista gets 2 though,
Spike down.
and Scargoat gets
Logista.
a 3rd.
Knight Rider coming from behind with the
Oh
ultimate
my.
on Jet, almost gets taken out. Gonna make her way to the window here.
A thrifty
Wow, on an
round.
eco round.
Wow.
And here we go, heading into game point.
Match
True
point.
Rippers down by 6 rounds. It's still doable, but man, you almost just feel like Q's Avengro in Paradox. Q's Avengers intro theme. It's time. They feel it, you know. I'm just hoping they battle it out.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This has been something else, Tyler. This has been something else.
Get out of my way.
Honestly, not the way I expected today to go at all.
Definitely.
But here we go, another strong B push. Crosshair whips out his ultimate.
All right, here goes the Rolling Thunder. I don't know if it's hit anyone
Go.
though.
I have my eyes on Knight Rider and Regista. And oh wow.
One tap does
Two
well.
taken out on God Particles. The Crosshair gets taken out on the True Ripper side. And there's a Viper ultimate. And like I said, the Viper ultimate on this map,
Spike planted.
just the way the plant sites are set up, just is able to take
Last player standing.
so much real estate up. It's free real estate.
Enemy remaining.
Ooh. Knight Rider takes him out. And it's Knight Rider
Versus Relic.
versus Relic. Let's see. And Knight Rider, I mean, Relic just needs to.
Oh, I think that's the GG. I
think
think
that's
that's
the
the GG.
Wow.
Wow.
There it is.
Defenders win.
Folks, what
Great,
have we
great game.
I'm lost for words, man. I am lost. What did we just witness here?
You know, here's what I'm happy about though is True Rippers didn't give up this map. I think they didn't try as hard as they can, but they didn't give up. They didn't surrender like the previous map, and I respect them for that. I'm glad they did that. But at the end of the day, God Particles pressing the button and what's the word I'm looking for? They have just cemented their position.
Annihilation.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
Man, that's what it was. And they've cemented their position in League Ego's 2021 Challenger Series finals. God Particles, the first team to get to our finals out of the 4, and True Rippers, man, it's just a tough day for them in general.
I mean, even on Breeze, just the way they started off, I mean, the scoreline at halftime wasn't too bad. If I'm being 100% honest for Team True Rippers, and it's not like they like Tyler, like you said, it's not like they weren't trying. But for a second there, was that B push becoming too predictable? 6 rounds back to back. That's all.
Yeah,
they did.
I think you go 3 or 4 rounds. Definitely, I mean, God Particles did not expect the 3rd round in a row to push B. But I think maybe the 4th, 5th time, maybe switch it up a little bit and send some people over to A. Don't just go full on B. Because it became predictable, and it was send some utility over into the pillar, and then Crosshair, you dash in with the Jet. It just you kind of knew what was going to happen. And as strong as those pushes were, I mean, God Particles was able to kind of pick it up. But yeah, I mean, look at the scoreboard, the score line for this map. Knight Rider, 23-10, average combat score of 296. I mean, absolutely killing it. I think the most disappointing thing, like we were talking about during this map, was just seeing where Paradox was.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, I don't know where he was. I couldn't find him. The entire matchup, and you know, that was just. I think True Rippers really needed him to come through, and unfortunately, this just wasn't the day. You know, and it's not like there's not going to be days, you know, going forward. We're hoping that True Rippers comes back and plays in more of our tournaments going forward. But for now, God Particles, first entry into the finals that we're going to have on Saturday.
And they 100% deserve it. Make no mistake. I mean,
They do.
They earned it. I mean, yeah. I mean, and going back to this, one key difference between these two teams for me is the agent select, the agent comp. Man, I mean,
It was big.
they just changed. Was it too different from what they're used to? Perhaps that could have been it. I mean, I know.
Well,
Paradox.
yeah.
I mean, One Tap is always known for either a Raze or a Reyna pick, and today we saw him play Astra. No, it was a different agent in the first map, and it was Breach on the second map.
Right.
I don't know if that was the move, man, honestly. And the same goes for Paradox as well. I cannot think of one good reason why Paradox should not be on the Jet, Tyler. Not based on his recent form, his performance in the last 2 months in the Indian Valorant scene. This man
Right.
being on any agent apart from Jet, honestly, I will question that. Maybe there was a strategy. Maybe it was well thought out, pre-planned. I don't know. But to me,
I don't know.
just-
But it doesn't seem like it. You know,
It
it
did
doesn't
not.
seem like it. And we were able to. I mean, we could have predicted exactly who God Particles was going to pick on Haven and on Breeze. I mean, just
Yeah.
looking at their most used agent composition in the past, like, what is it, 60 days or whatever,
Right.
in all the tournaments they've played for those maps, it was the same thing. They didn't change the formula at all. But yeah, True Rippers, you know, maybe they were trying something new or something. I just think the semifinals was probably not the place to try some new things. But
right?
but yeah,
I agree. And yeah, I mean, it could just be that they've had a tough week. I know they had a match today. It was a lot. It's
Right.
hectic. I fully understand that. So maybe it was just down to that. And if that's the case, they just need to brush it off and kind of move on.
keep
and,
going.
Keep going.
They're a great team. So
yeah, they're a great team.
today
But
is
hey,
not an indicator of how good they are. Let's just say it. We'll
would
say it
say
that
that.
way.
and while we're saying this, Tyler, take nothing away from God Particles. They deserve. They
Oh my
deserve to be
gosh.
in the finals. These guys, they showed us what they're made of. Shivi once again started to pop off in that second map. Look at his KDA, 17-8. Are you kidding me? That guy's insane. Knight Rider, once he got that op in that first half, man, there was no stopping that guy. Somebody needed to calm him down, but he just went on a rampage and absolutely demolished the enemies. And a lot of questionable
Right.
decisions I did feel that Team True Rippers made, not just in agent comp, but even in game.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just doing that B push again and again, I felt kind of got a bit old after a couple of rounds. True, God Particles were at one point they even gave them the site and they said we'll take it back when we're ready.
Right.
And that's
Yeah,
just,
God,
that's exactly
God
what it
Particles
is.
just, they knew what they were doing the whole time. They knew what they wanted to do. They executed it perfectly. They didn't let things get into their head and change their game plan. And, you know, they deserve it. I mean, God Particles, no mercy. I mean, they did not let up for a single second. And, you know, seeing them play in the finals, I'm just curious as to who they're going to play.
Yeah.
You know,
And I was
because
just I was just gonna say that a couple of teams are watching this match closely, Tyler, and that's Weird Esports
doing their research.
and
Yeah.
Reckoning Esports, and that matchup, folks, is tomorrow. The second semi-final kicks off at 7:30 p.m. Make sure you guys are subscribed. If you enjoyed the stream, make sure to like this video. But don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms on Instagram. Join our Discord server, and you'll be updated about all the latest matches tomorrow. The semi-final 2 is gonna drop at 7:30 p.m. It's gonna be Weird Esports taking on Reckoning Esports, and the winner of that game is going to be facing off against God Particles in the grand finals on Saturday. Tyler, super excited for it. Super excited for
It's
it.
going to be awesome. It's going to be so awesome. I can't wait for it.
I cannot wait for it, folks. So make sure you guys are followed and stay tuned to all the updates. That pretty much brings our broadcast to an end for today, Tyler. It's been a pleasure as always. Thanks so much for joining me.
Same here, man. It was awesome.
And
looking forward to see how the rest of this goes.
I can't wait to do it tomorrow, man. I can't wait for tomorrow's games. But on your way out, folks, make sure you enjoy this fun little video that we put together. It's a video of me interviewing a couple of pro players from the Valorant scene, and make sure you guys enjoy that one. And we'll see you guys tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. I don't know if Kakoti says you guys are here to change the scene and fill the voids. Let's go. Am I right, Lenny? That's what we're about.
Bro,
That's what we're about.
100%. Okay, listen. 3 years ago, you talked about a toxic environment. Like, we're not talking about toxic, right? Like, that's in the past,
Right.
right? Just that, like I talked about, like making mistakes, learning from it, doing it better. Well, you know what? We're gonna do it better, right? You show up, you just walk with us because we're walking with you.
Axel is on the wraparound here. Gets the first pick on Sway. Mindfuck, what are you doing? Special player is from Bangladesh. He is currently playing for the lineup of Exkili Esports. Please give it up for Sami.
Hello, guys. Thank you for having me. I've been in the South Asian scene for quite a bit, I think, for a year, I think, for the past year.
But yeah, tell us how the Exkili experience has been, and what's the gaming scene like in Dhaka? That's what I was really interested to hear about.
Honestly, I'll start with Dhaka first. Like, gaming scene in Bangladesh wasn't that big. When I was playing Counter Strike, like CS:GO, before I played Valorant, the gaming scene was very small. You know, like every Counter Strike player knew every other Counter Strike player. It was that
Right.
small. People I never imagined that would play Valorant played Valorant, and people came from so many different communities. Like, mainly Valorant players have Counter Strike players,
Right.
but in Bangladesh, the whole community has like Fortnite players, Dota players, League of Legends players,
Overwatch probably.
Overwatch, yeah, PUBG, like a whole mix
Right.
of
Right.
people.
How's your experience been with Exkili Esports?
So like at first, the experience was pretty nice. Like it's nice to play back at home, and it was getting better because all of a sudden, our like owner of Exili Arif announced that we're gonna have a boot camp. So which was
Right.
surprising.
What would you say is your biggest dream for Exkili? And you and the other guys, what would you say is the what is the one thing that you probably want to achieve as a team?
I would say that being the number one in South Asia and dethrone global esports and
Let's
become
go.
the king of the hill.
That's the
That
goal
would be the
right there.
dream.
Straight up.
Okay,
Favorite player in South Asia right now?
me.
Sami, let's go. That was the best response I've got to that question so far.
This is Sami, SS Sami from Exili Sports, and we will be playing the League Ego Championship 2021. And I hope you guys will watch that starting from December 1st.